Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today, I'm going to show you how to fill out the Visa for UK form. This is the form that you would have to fill out for when you apply for a UK tourist visa. So first is you obviously have to go to the Visa for UK website. Don't worry, I will link this down below in my description box. So after you've accessed the website, you would have to register for an account, obviously. But since I already have one, I've already logged in, and then it'll take you to a brief form which you would need to fill out with your basic information. After you're done with that, you would then see this screen right here. And then next is you would click for apply for myself, and then give this information a quick read. And then after you're done reading all of these things or all of these details, click continue. After clicking that, you would then have to fill out the rest of the form. This is the form that you initially filled out upon registering. So these information is not my actual information. Obviously the name is mine and the email address, but this is not my primary contact number. This is not my actual birthday. But anyway, let's continue. Everything with an asterisk is mandatory, so you'd have to fill those out. So for my passport number, I'm just gonna put a dummy number. So let's just put numbers 1 to 8. Date of intended travel, let's say May 1st of May 2018. And then after you're done filling out this form, scroll down and then select your visa type. The reason for visit is visit. Visa type should be tourism. Visa subtype should be tourism 6 months. And then after you're done with that, answer these 3 questions here. Do you intend to work in the UK? No. Is the main purpose of your trip to visit or stay with a close family relative who is settled in the UK? No. Do you intend to study in the UK? No. So create application. After you're done with that, you just have to scroll down. So this is your active application. Click go to application. And then this will take you to the actual form that you would have to fill out. This is a very lengthy form, so this will take you a while to finish. You don't have to finish filling this out right away, but I'm going to show you how to fill this out. So in this first screen, passport/travel document, this is just all about you. The whole form is all about you. There are some parts of the form where you need to fill out something about your sponsor if you are being sponsored by someone else. So first is family name. This is the family name that matches your passport. Family name is Bladen. Given name is Kate. Have you ever used or been known by any other names? No. Date of birth, 1st of January 1993. Place of birth, let's say my place of birth is in Iligan City, Philippines. Gender is female. Oh, unspecified, no. Gender is female. Nationality is Philippines. Do you currently hold or have you ever held any other nationalities? No. Passport number, place of issue. You will find all these information in your passport, so just go check it out. For me, it is DFA Manila. Issuing authority is DFA. Date of issue, you have to fill that out. I'm just going to pick a random date. This is not the actual date that my passport was issued, but let's pick 1st of June 2017. Date of expiry, let's say 10 years later. 2027, 1st of June as well. Current location. So where's your current location? So let's say my current location is Philippines. So I'm just going to pick that out. Are you a national of the country in which you're applying? Yes, I am. Is this your first passport? This is self-explanatory. Yes. If it's not your first passport, obviously you'd have to say no. Travel information. Are you traveling with anyone? No. Date of planned arrival in the UK. This is the date that we picked out earlier. How long do you intend to stay in the UK? Let's say 6 months. UK postcode. I'm not gonna put any postcodes here. I'm gonna skip this. But for you, if you have a place to stay in the UK, this is where you enter the details of the place. Let's say a hotel or a friend's residence, or your boyfriend or your husband's residence. This is where you fill out the address. So let's say you're done with this page. Just click next next section. So we're on to the next section. This section is all about you. You would have to fill out all your personal details. So for this part of the form, just fill out your permanent residential address and contact details. After you're done with that, go here and it asks how long you've lived in the address above. So let's say 10 years or however long you've stayed there. You just put that information here. And then, are your preferred contact details different from the contact details already provided above? I've put no, because that's let's say this is my actual primary contact number. And then next is travel and criminal history. Have you been issued any visa for the UK overseas territories or Commonwealth countries in the last 10 years? For my case, yes, I have. I've been issued a visa twice. So if you have been issued a visa in the past, like me, you would have to add that information here. What was the type of visa? What was the date of issue? But I'm guessing you have not ever traveled to the UK if you're watching this video. So you just have to say no. Next is, have you ever traveled to the UK in the last 10 years? No. Have you made an application to the Home Office to remain in the UK in the last 10 years? No. Have you been refused entry to the UK in the last 10 years? No. Have you been refused a visa for any country, including the UK, in the last 10 years? So this depends on your situation. If you have, obviously you would have to say yes, but if you have not, say no. Have you been deported, removed, or otherwise required to leave any country, including the UK, in the last 10 years? No. Have you ever voluntarily elected to depart the UK? If you have never been to the UK, you would have to say no. Are you or have you been subject to an exclusion order from the UK? No. Have you ever traveled outside your country of residence, excluding the UK, in the last 10 years? So let's say you're a frequent traveler. Obviously, you'd have to say yes, and you'd have to add the details here. But if you have never ever traveled outside your country before, say no. And then, have you ever been issued with a UK national insurance number? If you're not a resident in the UK, you don't have this, so say no. Have you ever been convicted of any criminal offense in the UK or any country? No. So these information is about your criminal history. So if you don't have any criminal history of any kind, all of the answers to these questions would be no. So let me just answer no to these questions. If we need to interview you, what language would you like to use in the interview? For me, personally, I would prefer English. Have you received any other penalty in relation to a criminal offense? No. Have you had any UK court judgment? No. So we're done with this page. Next section. Okay, we're on to the next section. This is about your spouse, your boyfriend, your partner. This is where you enter their information. So let's say I am single. I don't have any partner. So I'm gonna say single. For the father, this is all about you. So you enter the name of your father, obviously. Let's say you have a spouse. Let's say you're married. This could get quite confusing. Will your spouse or partner be traveling with you? Let's say you've already filled this out, the spouse or partner form. You might get confused when you get to the father section, because I did. I thought that this form was asking about my spouse's father, but this is all about you. So this is about your father, this is about your mother. So moving on, let's change that back to single again. And then your father, select nationality. My dad is Filipino, so Philippines. Family name, surname, let's say let's say his name's John Doe. So John Doe, date of birth, let's say his date of birth is, let's say he was born on 1963 on the 1st of December. This is just a random date. Place of birth, let's say Ligan City as well. Philippines. So for my mom, nationality is Filipino as well. Let's say her name's Jane Doe. Date of birth. Pick a random date. 2nd of December. Place of birth, Ligan City as well. Okay, so do you have any dependent children? I don't, so no. Are any other children traveling with you? If there aren't any children that's traveling with you, just say no. In the next section. Okay, next section is about your employment. So, have you ever worked for any organizations listed below? So, I have not worked for any organizations in this list, so I'm going to say no. What is your current working status? Me personally, I'm self-employed. What is your total monthly income from all sources of employment or occupation after tax? This is in pounds, so keep that in mind. Let's put a random number. Let's say £1,000 a month. Name of company or organization. Let's say Upwork, because that's where I get my work from. Job description, I'm a virtual assistant. Type of work undertaken, administrative. Address, in my case, I would have to fill in my actual residential address, but let's skip that part. Let's go here. When did you start your job? Let's say 1st of January 2017. Do you have any additional paid jobs? No. Income and expenditure. Do you have savings? Let's say yes. Add the information here. How much do you spend? Add all the information here. This is self-explanatory. Let's go to the next section. So next section is about family and friends. Please enter details of what you plan to do whilst in the UK. This is very important. So this is where you tell them what you have planned for your trip. Back then when I applied for my UK tourist visa, I filled this in, like I utilized this box. So let me actually show you an example. So let's say spend Christmas with my boyfriend. This was when my husband and I weren't married yet, so he was still my boyfriend then. And then spend New Year together. Spend New Year together. And then travel to London for our anniversary. Spend Valentine's Day together. And then lastly, celebrate his birthday together. Actually, celebrate his birthday, together. Oh, you could also add to finally meet his friends and family. Okay, looks good. Next is, do you have any friends or family in the UK? In my case, I didn't have any friends or family, not that I know of, so I'm gonna say no. Next section. Next section is medical treatment. Have you ever received medical treatment in the UK? If you've never been to the UK, obviously you've never received one, so no. Next section. So we're finally nearly done, you guys. So we're now onto the last part of the form, the additional information form. So it's asking, is there any other information you wish to be considered as part of your application? If I were you, I would utilize this box as much as I could. Tell them everything about your trip. Tell them that you're going back to where you come from, to your country. For me, I was still studying the first time I applied for my UK tourist visa. So I said, hey, I am still enrolled in my school, so I am coming back from my graduation. I'm just taking a quick break from school, so I want to take this time to travel around, finally meet my boyfriend's parents and meet his friends as well, and go to a lot of places with him. And then I'm the only daughter, so I'm really close, or I'm really attached to my parents. So they would miss me so much, and I would miss them as well. I couldn't just leave them, you know. But obviously, you would have to word that properly. So that's just an example. So you put all of that information here, and after you're done, you just click confirm application. And then I know that there are some parts of the form that I have not filled out, so yeah, just as I thought, it's gonna prompt me to complete the form, those parts that I have skipped. But let's say you've done that, like you've done filling out everything. This will successfully confirm the application, and then this will ask you to schedule your appointment to the VFS. That's the place where you need to submit all your documents. So yeah, apart from this application, you would also need to, well, it's not really required, but I highly suggest that you submit a cover letter. So in your cover letter, put all those information that I've just mentioned a bit earlier on, about what your trip is gonna be about, where you're gonna go, what you have planned, who you're gonna meet. Put all of that in your cover letter. Tell them why you want to travel. Tell them why you're coming back to your country, because that is very, very important. That is so they don't think that you would not leave the UK at the end of your visit, because a lot of people do that. We can't deny that. But yeah, you just have to guarantee them that you indeed are coming back to where you come from, and that you're gonna leave the UK as your visa expires. So yeah, I guess that's all for today, you guys. I hope that you learned a thing or two from this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them down in the comment section below. I would gladly answer them as much as I could. And I wish you best of luck in your application. I hope that you get it. And enjoy your visit to the UK. Bye.